us today for Let's Talk Kid Edition. Today I have two young, lovely ladies with me today. We're going to discuss some of today's current events in the past weeks. There's been a lot of talk in the media and news about some of the police interactions that are affecting the African American community. A lot of people are upset, a lot of people have questions, a lot of people are wondering how this will affect us. And we wanted to take a moment to make sure that our youth understand what's happening and answer any questions that they might have moving forward about what they should do and how they might consider feeling about it. All right. So, ladies, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves for the camera?
My name's Ayam. My name's Amayas.
All right. So, I guess we'll start off with the first question: Is girls, do you know what's been happening lately across the country with African Americans like us and the police?
I don't really know much, but
Hmm.
Mom told me that like the police, they're starting to kill like black people for
Okay.
that. And I also know that there is also a lot of going on with people shooting black African Americans and things.
Okay. So there have been, to this date, over 130 deaths of African Americans this year at the hands of the police. Um, and just to give you guys a little bit more context, um, the issue is that in many of these cases, um, the the victims in this case, the African Americans in this case, were unarmed and they were gunned down. And the police are claiming justifications that a lot of people in our community don't see or don't rationalize existing. For example, there are a lot of reasons somebody can lose their life at the hands of the police. If you're the type of person who attacks a police officer, a lot of times that can result in you being attacked back. If you shoot at a police officer, a lot of times they will shoot back. If you point a gun at a police officer, a lot of times they will shoot first. Um, but what we've been seeing is that African Americans have been losing their lives without any resistance. And most recently in Louisiana and in Minnesota, um, two African Americans lost their lives and were murdered by the police. So right now, what's happening in the country is that parents, like your parents, are very scared for themselves and most especially you as children. Um, because our first job, first and foremost, is to keep you guys safe. So we want to explain to you and get you guys to understand what's happening, um, that it's okay to be scared, and answer any questions that you might have. Sounds good?
I got one question though.
Sure, ask away.
What exactly does the gun down mean?
Gun down means when you are standing up and you are shot at till you're down and dead. So not every, so
I have a question.
sure,
How come people like kill like African Americans?
that's a great question. Um, and there's no real clear-cut answer for that, but essentially there's been a lot of media and a lot of press with focused on what people call black on black crime. Have you guys ever heard that expression before? Okay, good, because it's a myth. All right. Um, but essentially, they attribute the majority of the crime to black communities. This is wrong. There you have a lot of officers, and this is speculation, but there are a lot of officers who are told that African Americans are a threat, that we are dangerous, that we commit crimes and violence against people, our own people and other people. Um, and because of that, if you're dealing with a police officer who has that type of mentality, they might feel like it's a very tense situation and they're more on edge. And with adults, if you're on edge, you're likely to explode or overstep your bounds or act in an irrational manner.
What does overstep your bounds mean?
Overstep your bounds means that there are limits to what you can do, right? So, for example, you guys are going to go to the pool or the beach later or this summer, correct? And your mom tells you to stay in this section, right? In this section, yes, you're in the water, but you're still safe. It's not too deep. You're not at any risk. Overstepping your bounds means that you've gone past where you were supposed to go, and now you're in a very dangerous area. And something bad is likely to happen if you don't change course immediately and come back to that safe zone. So that's what overstep your bounds means. So you always want to stay within your bounds. So police officers have a limit to which they're able to interact with somebody. And you, as an individual, you have your own set of rights that protect you from a police officer overstepping their bounds. At least it's supposed to. And what's happening is that these police officers are overstepping their bounds and they're violating people's civil rights. And this is what's been creating such a lot of the angst and anxiety and tense atmosphere across the country right now. Okay? Do you guys go to school? I mean, yes, you guys go to school. Do you guys go to school by yourselves? I'll drop you off. Do you ever talk in school with your other classmates about what you guys see on the news or what you guys hear your parents talk about?
Sometimes my teachers.
What does your teacher say?
Well, I can't really remember, but she really did used to talk about it. I can't really remember.
And what do you say? You said sometimes you guys talk about it. Like, what do you mean sometimes? Like, what do you talk about?
Well, sometimes my classmates talk about what happened, about the situation with people and things like that.
And what do they say? Like, when they talk about it?
They say that it's really not fair because they hurt Black African Americans, and most Black African Americans don't do anything to other people.
Wait, say that last part one more time for me.
Because other people don't like anything. Like Black African Americans don't really do anything to them, and they just do it to them.
Okay.
We need the police to look into it.
So, have you guys heard the expression Black Lives Matter?
No.
Okay. Well, essentially, it's a movement. It's an understanding that basically is centered around that very same thing of talking about how people are treated, how people affect one another, and making sure that our needs are met. Correct? Okay? Because you don't ever want to feel ignored or targeted. I would also move forward to say that, and let me be very clear, even though the African Americans get a bad, white people get a bad, brown people get a bad, yellow people get a bad, blue people, okay? But not all police officers are bad. The problem is that we are having a lot of police officers do bad things, and we're supposed to, the question is, how do we trust them with keeping us safe, because that's their job. Do you guys have a police officer in your school?
We have security guards. We have security guards.
You have security guards, okay. Do you guys know your security guards' names?
Yes.
Yeah?
Some of them.
No. Well, your security guards are like your school's police. They're charged with keeping you guys safe, right? They're supposed to protect you from outside people coming into the school. They're supposed to protect you from each other. say you got a bully in your class that's bothering you, you're supposed to put a stop to that. Alright? The police function the same way. They're in charge of keeping us safe. They're in charge of making sure that nobody is trying to hurt us, harm us. And it can be very confusing when the people who are supposed to keep you safe are also the same people who hurt you. You understand that? So, till things start to change for the better, you want to make sure you want to take very special care to listen to what your parents have to tell you. They're here to protect you. And understand that everything is not about you.
Change next year, like if they're gonna get better, and police officers are gonna stop killing black people for no reason, like they're gonna get better and not do that anymore.
Well, we're hoping things get better. We have a lot of people that are demonstrating, protesting, marching, asking for change to take place. There's no clear-cut rule on how fast it'll happen, but we know we need it to happen very sooner than later. Sure.
Do you know how some police officers, right? Some police officers, like if somebody's doing something bad, how come? Well, the police sometimes they tell them to stop, right? But how come they keep on doing the things that they do, even though police tell them to stop doing what they do?
Are you talking about the police officers telling other police officers to stop what they're doing, or somebody like me or you to stop doing what they're doing? And why do we keep doing it? Well, no one should be breaking the law, right? So if you're doing something that is against the law, you run the risk of being caught, you run the risk of being punished. Okay? And you can go to jail, you can get a ticket. You'll be lucky if you go to jail and get a ticket for this, unfortunately. The reasons why people still continue to do it, it can depend on any number of reasons. They can be addicted to what they're doing, whereas they don't have the, say what? Some of them don't. Some of them don't. Some of them can't help it. Some of them, unfortunately, don't care. And as us, as individuals, with a sense of community, and if I know you, if you know somebody who's doing something bad, it's your own responsibility, if you want to tell them to stop, to tell them to ask them. Don't tell them to be better, ask them to be better. You know, they might need some help with something that you might be able to help them with, where they don't have to do something bad. There's always a reason, right? And it's on us to help each other be better, so that we don't have to do bad things, so that we don't have to get the police involved. So I wouldn't let my friend hurt anybody. I wouldn't let my friend do something bad. You know, I instead would help them. And then in there, you protecting them. Am I boring you? No, just playing. Alright. Well, I think we're good right now for this edition of Let's Talk Kids Edition. Thank you very much, ladies, for your questions and your opinions. And thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. People call me Mo, and this is me signing out.
Bye.